Hey Gemini, what's up gang? I hope everybody is well. No, this is not a pick a card. This is your remainder of 2025 reading. That's right, I want to do something really special for you guys to say thank you for 29,000 subscribers. It's just awesome and it didn't go unnoticed. When I first created this channel, I didn't even really think that I could make it to 10K. So to make it to 29,000 is just phenomenal. And you guys are much appreciated, more than you even know or believe. So I wanted to do this, which was it's a very in-depth reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. As you can probably guess, yes, we have August, September, October, November, December, and we are going to get an animal message for the remainder of 2025, and we will definitely clarify whatever we need to with tarot. Okay, so go ahead, get into it, get you a snack, get you a drink, get whatever you want to get. Okay, and let's get this started. Gemini, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box. That's going to have all the information that you would need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? And in case I didn't say it enough, thank you for 29,000. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. First of all, for your intuitive message, we do have the sun. Starting off strong, starting off with August anyways, which is Leo energy. And it's really interesting because it feels like things are going to be getting better the remainder of 2025. I mean, obviously we're going to see about all the ups and downs and whatever comes out in the cards, but it does feel like overall there's a sense of positivity, there's a sense of growth, maybe even renewal. It's giving the energy of like a bright new day, okay? Also, I feel like by the time we hit 2026, we're going to be knowing exactly where we stand when it comes with something, right? There's this energy of clarity coming through with the sun, and it's like, well, we can't mistake that. We can't deny that. This is exactly what it is, all right? So very interesting energy here. Let's go ahead and get us an animal message for the remainder of 2025 for Gemini gang spirit. What can Gemini expect the remainder of 2025, please? What can Gemini gang expect? We have the earthworm. Ooh, gonna be starting something new here. Okay, the earthworm talks about a novice energy. It talks about somebody who is new at something and maybe they're having a hard time believing in themselves, right? Not seeing the impact or the difference that they make. They're just this little squishy earthworm. How much of an impact could they make? But actually earthworms are incredibly valuable to our earth, right? They add a lot of nutrition, they add a lot of vitamins to our soil, which helps our plants and our vegetables and fruits grow. You can ask any gardener, an earthworm is a welcome sight in their garden, okay? So it's kind of giving the energy here of really not understanding your own power, understanding the impact that you make, Gemini, how maybe just by being yourself, you make a difference in the world. This is also saying not to be so hard on yourself when you're starting out something new. You know, you can't know what you don't know. Everybody is new at some point. Everybody is an amateur at some point. This just means that there's room to grow here. And with this rainbow energy that's, you know, in between the earthworm bits, it makes me feel like you have a lot of potential, you have a lot of magic, or you have a very natural talent when it comes to something, and you just need to believe in yourself, and this is going to expand, this is going to grow. So overall, it's a really positive energy for the rest of the year. It's kind of giving the energy of, you know, growing, seeing the best in ourselves, not being too hard on ourselves when we don't feel like we're performing like everybody else or we're not doing as good of a job like everybody else is doing. It's kind of just accepting yourself where you're at and, you know, definitely congratulating yourself for the small wins along the way, okay? Okay, so earthworm, shy, hesitant, reluctant to share inner vision. We have all felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember that they once felt the earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder that to not be intimidated or to lose hope. Mastery takes time, and you're on the right track. Besides, rumor has it, it's a beginner's mind that offers the most valuable insights. When in balance, earnest, intelligent, and valuable. When out of balance, self-conscious and apprehensive. To bring into balance, speak up or risk embarrassment. So what I'm getting here, Gemini, is that, you might feel a little intimidated by something new that you're going to be stepping into. I'm definitely getting the energy overall of stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe letting go of old things and moving into this energy of the new. But what Spirit is saying is that, you're on the right track. So don't be intimidated. Don't lose hope. And mastery takes time. Again, I had mentioned some of you guys might be very naturally skilled with something, but that doesn't mean that you're a master at it, right? Mastery takes years of dedication, of learning, of leveling up, of, tweaking whatever you've already been working on to make it better or more evolved. Mastery is not something that just happens overnight. Like you can be born knowing how to play the piano, but to master the piano takes time. And I feel like that's the energy for some of you guys. You are very natural talent or naturally skilled at something, but you still feel a little new in whatever this is that you're trying to jump into. Also, it says, besides, rumor has it, a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insights. You might be helping other people for the rest of the year see things in a different way, Gemini. Maybe you're taking a fresh take or a fresh look on something. Maybe whatever you do, a lot of people do what you do, Gemini, okay? But nobody does it like you do it, right? So it's like you're putting your own magic touch or natural touch on something, and it's, it's benefiting others, it's benefiting yourself, okay? All right, so let's put our little worm buddy over here and let's get this party started, guys, because we have a lot to jump into. I'm not going to move these piles off because I don't want to mix them up and I don't want to do all that. So we're just going to take the cards and lay them out on top of this. Hopefully it doesn't look too chaotic. Some of y'all don't even look anyways. You just listen. So, hey, I will definitely read everything out. As you can see, we have a lot of different cards. So this tea leaf for August, this is August's pile. It says, the feather, gone with the wind, lacking accountability, and someone you know is undependable and insincere. Okay. The feeling is healing. We have the sickle, focus, regrowth, and letting go. Okay. We have it's in you, card number 24. We have the sun, your perseverance is being rewarded. And then we have time to move on. It's time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. Interesting. Now, I do want to note that some of these cards I did see when they popped out, but actually the majority of them I didn't. And so this is going to be kind of a surprise for me too. But August seems very clear and to the point. We're letting go of something or somebody that keeps letting us down. Okay. This could even be ourselves. Like maybe we're done with our excuses. Like you want to get in shape, or you want to start a business, or you want to write a book, or you want to do something, but you keep giving all these excuses of why you can't, right? Very earthworm energy, very much like, well, who would want to read my story? Who am I to get up there and do this and to do that, right? But you have something very valuable to offer. And so for some of you guys, you're going to start taking more accountability when it comes to your own growth, when it comes to your own achievements. You're like, I'm not going to be in the passenger seat of my life anymore. I'm sitting in the driver's seat from now on. Now, for others of you, this could definitely be talking about maybe somebody who has let you down. We do have healing energy. There's been a lot of crying. There's been a lot of pain. There's been a lot of feeling really just deflated or disillusioned by something. And it's interesting because we have the sickle here. And this does say focus, regrowth, and letting go. But for me, the sickle, it talks about kind of cutting something away, because back in the day they would use these to kind of weed out their gardens, the unnecessaries, the impurities, the things that are really blocking us and getting in the way. In August, it feels like we're noticing these things and we're cutting these things away. We see that with it's time to move on anyways, right? It's time to let go of the old and worn out so that we can have newness in our life, because that's really what we want. And some of you guys have been persevering a lot with this sun energy, and you're going to see some kind of reward here. I feel like this is also hard work, letting go of old habits, cycles, commitments, relationships. These are things that maybe we've built identities around, or we put a lot of stock in, we've invested a lot of energy. Is giving Eight of Cups energy with this time to move on, Like the Eight of Cups can be looked at as a really negative card because we are letting something go, or there's a sense of an ending here. But the thing about the Eight of Cups is we're walking towards our wish fulfillment. We're letting go of what's not satisfying us anymore or not working out for us, and we're actually going to step into what is. Now, it's funny because it's in you, okay? The Wizard of Oz could be significant for somebody because this lion is based off of that story. It's the cowardly lion. It's the energy here of I need to find strength. I need to find courage. I need to find strength. And you're looking for it everywhere externally, not really realizing that strength, that courage is within you. And that's where you're going to find it, by looking deep within, by believing in yourself, by growing confidence, right? And knowing that no matter what happens, you've got you. So I can see a lot of messages for August, whether we're letting go of some dead weight when it comes to ourselves and what we are limiting ourselves on, or how much we can achieve or what we can do or what's possible for us, or whether we're letting go of people around us, commitments, situations, friend groups, communities, whatever, that are just not conducive to us anymore. It's like we want better for ourselves in August, you know? We really want to see our full potential, and the only way we're going to do that is to make space for it. You know, you can hold on to things, but it's really taking up space. It's kind of like when you're you're trying to lose weight, which some of you might be trying to, since this example is coming to me. But it's like when you're trying to lose weight and you put yourself on a very strict calorie deficit or whatever. Those calories are like gold. Anybody who's been on a calorie cut, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you only have 1,400 calories in a day, you are not going to drink 120 calorie whatever soda or something, right? Like, that's a wasted calorie. I'd much rather put that into my dinner or into my breakfast or whatever, you know? So it's the same kind of thing with the energy that's around you. Like, I'm not going to spend that energy, or I'm not going to spend my precious time on something that isn't actually going to help me, benefit me, fill me up, or whatever, or help the cause here. Like, I'm going to save my time, my energy, my interest, my dedication, my focus, my investment. I'm going to save that for what counts. So it's really this energy of restructuring priorities here in August and looking at what really matters, Gemini. And it feels like when you're doing that, you're seeing that some stuff just ain't making the cut, boo. Like, it's just not, okay? Let's go ahead and put all of this back. I don't know if I can remember how I had it, but I think I had it like going smallest to biggest. Okay, so August looks good. Let's get into September, okay? Ooh, protection right off the bat. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see like hardly any of this pile. So I'm like, ooh. Okay, we have the rooster. Someone's petty. Someone's vengeful. Lord, here she go. Lord, here she go. Okay, somebody's vengeful, hot-headed, cocky, and arrogant, boastful person that you should not cross. Is that because you sailed away in August from them? Did you? Right? Time to move on. Somebody's not happy about that. Okay? Every time I see this card too, I think of that episode of Sex and the City where Carrie moves. I think she moves. No, she doesn't move. An animal shop moves to her building or whatever, or like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a pet shop. I don't know if it was a rescue. I don't know what it was, but they had roosters for whatever reason. So she'd hear roosters crowing like every morning, and she went over to like complain about it. And she's like, there's like chickens on the roof, and every morning I'm hearing them crow. And the Asian lady's like, roosters crow. I don't know why I think of that, or why that came up, Gemini. Maybe it'll come up at some point here in this reading. Anyways, okay, yeah, we have forgive, okay? We have the hedge, potential, boundaries, and indecision, okay? We have perception, card number 21. We have hindrance, fate has blocked a path, okay? And then we have protection. You and your loved ones and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. Ooh, September is given like some savage energy here. I feel like for some of you, you are cutting somebody or something off in August, maybe even moving into September here. And there's this energy here of like forgiving yourself for not doing it sooner. I don't know what this is talking about, but somebody around you is really petty. They're maybe very aggressive, very vengeful. This could be somebody who likes to argue, you know what I mean? Or somebody who like wants to kind of stress their point. For some of you, this path moving forward with this person or with this situation where there's people like this, because this might represent like a group or something, it feels like this has been a decision that maybe you've needed to make for a while, okay? I feel like fate has kind of blocked some things for you until you take care of this problem, or maybe has even caused you to not go any further, because I see this with the hedge, you know? It's like we're walking forward and we can't go past this point. We kind of have to choose a path that we're going to walk down. And I feel like for some of you, there's an ascension process that's actually happening in September. You're very protected by spirit, but there's also this energy of like, you need to see something for what it is, right? With the ostrich head kind of buried in the sand there. It's like we're avoiding seeing something, and it feels like it's within somebody that we really need to see. Okay. And again, there's energy here of maybe not wanting to see it because maybe some of us, we don't want to feel like we were played for a fool, or that, you know, we didn't see the red flags, we didn't read the room, we let ourselves down, you know, we wasted time. It's like Spirit's like, let go of that energy and even forgive this person if that's what's needed. You know, forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about us. It's about setting ourselves free from the resentment, from the bitterness, from the pain, because we don't deserve to hold on to that, right? So I feel like for some of you in September, whether this person is physically in your life or not, it's like we are really removing their energy and kind of making a decision to go down a new path here, okay? Because again, I feel like Spirit's almost like blocked the entrance here, where it's like, okay, you can't go forward anymore until you take care of whatever this is, okay? I feel like you need to move forward in a balanced way. We see the scales of justice here, okay? So Libra energy could be significant. I think Libra is at the tail end of September. I don't really know, guys, but I know that Libra energy is here because of that, okay? So yeah, it just feels like in September there's like a disillusionment with something. And if you did in August kind of break it off or move away or leave something behind here, yeah, people are going to be upset about that, but that's just what it is. The Spirit is saying you do what's best for you. You are protected when it comes to this, okay? And remember, rejection is protection. So if Spirit is not allowing us to move forward down a path for whatever reason, know that that's because you're meant for something else. So again, rejection is protection, and we see that. It's like, let the things that want to fall away in September fall away. Don't be so arrogant. Don't be so cocky. Don't make yourself feel like you have to hold on to something or you have to make something work. This is kind of giving like a little bit of a tower too, especially with the perception. So it's like, if something wants to if life wants to push you in a certain direction, there's almost the energy of letting life push you in that direction in September. Because you're being protected from something and possibly even somebody, okay? So can I get something here about this petty individual? Can I get something about this? Whoa, that's way too many. Can I get something about this petty individual here in September? Okay, well, we have the King of Wands that came out. That's definitely a hothead. You know, masculine energy could be an Aries, because if I had to pick an animal for an Aries, I would actually pick a rooster. You know, they're quite grumpy, okay, and a little peckish. I feel like there's something here where somebody just, maybe they don't care who they step on, to kind of get what they want. And maybe you're noticing this about somebody. This could be somebody connected to your family for sure, but also your work environment. Like maybe this is a boss, or maybe this is a coworker, and it's like this person kind of likes to get in the way. Can I get something about this hindrance with this fate has blocked the path for September for Gemini gang? We have the King of Cups. Always watching from a distance, right? With the star. So for some of you, I'm actually getting this energy here of not sitting around dreaming about things anymore, but actually making something happen. But for some of you guys, yeah, you have been blocked from somebody's energy where it's like they're never going to really be able to give you what you deserve. They're never going to step up to the plate. This person could have some toxic habits. I mean, he's drinking, he's got a half-naked mermaid behind him. It's like, you know, it just kind of feels like there's this energy of somebody who doesn't want to grow up or doesn't want to be serious about something, and you're kind of letting that go. There's a lot of masculine energy here in September that maybe you're trying to navigate around. Can I get something for what this choice is for September, please, with this hedge? Because it does say boundaries as well. Look, y'all, you cannot make it up. We have the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands. What the hell? Where is the King of Pentacles at? I was like, where's the King of Pentacles at? He's literally on the bottom of the deck. Well, the top, I guess I should say, because this is the bottom. Bruh, it's a sausage fest in September. For some of you guys, I don't know what's going on. Maybe you have a lot of masculine energy that's kind of influencing you. This could also be talking about the actions that you're going to be taking here. For some of you with the Seven of Cups, maybe you're having a lot of choices that are coming through in September. Maybe there's a need to have boundaries here in September when it comes to who you're giving your time to, who you're giving your attention to. There's a lot of indecision though, and maybe living off of potential. It's like, I want something that is solid. I want something that's sturdy. I want something that I can depend on. So I don't know, guys. September seems a little weird, right? Like September feels like we're needing to see something for what it is. We're needing to forgive ourselves and others. We're needing to understand that if a path has been blocked and we're kind of being pushed in another direction, it's for a reason. We are heavily protected, but there could be people around us that are really upset about our choices, or they're willing to put their own success above our feelings or what matters to us. It's like, this is the energy of like, I'm again willing to step on anybody to get to the top. So we're kind of very conscious of that energy around us, and we're trying to avoid that as we navigate this month. Okie dokie, guys. You know, I didn't hand select these cards, so I'm just saying. You know, like this is all real. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so August, September, October. Like, what's next? October. Okay. Ooh, looks like we're looking up for October. All right, so October says the crown, chosen one, divine being, honor and respect will come to you, and selected for greatness. I think we had that in the most recent reading. Okay, your feeling is slow down. All right. We have preserve, security, forethought, and thrift. We have inner truth, card number 7. We have earth, utilize logic, reason, and common sense. Okay, and then we have set your sights higher, increase your standards, and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. Okay, let me get a drink. It's kind of like overwhelming looking at all the cards like this when they come out, because I'm so used to like pulling a card out, talking 20 minutes, pulling a card out, talking 20 minutes. So this is kind of weird. But anyways, we're flowing with it. Isn't this like such a Gemini card? It's like the yin yang of the kitties. I just love that. Okay, so Gemini, it's like really understanding that everything is working for your benefit in October. Like things are going well, but also you can see how things are going to get better. There's also this energy of reprioritizing or really making very smart choices, whether this is in business or finances. I'm actually seeing that because the earth talks about utilizing logic, reason, and common sense, and then preserve is talking about forethought and being kind of thrifty, you know? So you could be making very intentional choices here in October when it comes to your money, when it comes to your business, when it comes to maybe relationships, the things that you're investing yourself in, your health for sure. October is giving a very like calm, steady, I feel good type of month, you know, and maybe you are slowing down, or maybe some things are slowing down, but you still feel very secure. You know, it's like there could be a need to slow down. Maybe your intuition with the inner truth is telling you that, you know, we're going to have a busy seasons moving forward, or, you know, this is your time to kind of relax, take a break. Maybe for some of you guys, if you have like a work schedule where certain months are busier than others, October is just going to be a slower month. You know, we're heading into autumn. So it's like we're kind of getting into that chillax energy. And some of you guys could just be allowing yourself to not stress or not be constantly feeling like you need to produce, constantly feeling like you need to achieve, you need to constantly grind. It's like cutting ourselves some slack here. I feel like with the crown, there could be some kind of recognition that's coming through, especially when it comes to your work here. Possibly there's an energy of maybe being on the path to leadership with set your sights higher, or there's going to be something that we're going to be achieving, like we're really going to be moving forward, okay? And set your sights higher says increase your standards and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. And I feel like after the first 2 months, August and September, it's like, yeah, we're kicking all the trash to the curb here. Like we're not putting up with anything that doesn't need to be in our thoughts, our hearts, our body, or otherwise, right? Like we're only expecting the best for ourselves. And you're really carrying through with that in October. October, your intuition is speaking to you about something. You know, it's really interesting. Some of you guys might be moving, relocating, because I just saw the 4 of Wands and it made me think of that. That's not for everybody, but your intuition is speaking to you in October. What is their intuition saying to them in October here, Spirit? What is their intuition saying for Gemini gang in October, please? I heard that song, listen to your heart. Look, I heard listen to your heart, and then the 6 of Cups comes out with the Ace of Swords. What? Yeah, listen to your heart, okay? With the Page of Cups, for some of you guys, maybe you're thinking about somebody, maybe you're a little nostalgic, you know? You have time to slow down here in October, so, you know, that's when our thoughts start to turn a little bit. Maybe you are thinking about somebody, or maybe you're thinking about a time, right? I know for me, when like fall season hits, I always get like naturally nostalgic for whatever reason. So maybe you're just thinking back to days gone by or something like that. Some of you guys, though, I am kind of getting listen to your heart, because the Six of Cups, I could look at that as the heart space, and then the Ace of Swords is like paying attention, clarity, a truth coming through. There could be something here about your feelings for somebody that maybe you've been trying to deny, or maybe you've just been so busy, because it looks like August and September is a little bit like, wow, okay? So maybe you've just been so busy you haven't had a time to stop, but it's like something comes in. I don't know, maybe you get a whiff of pumpkin spice or apple pie or something, and you're just like, oh, that person, I remember them. They always smelled like apple pie. I don't know. That's for somebody, but it is kind of feeling that way, like being a little nostalgic. You know, thinking maybe back to when you were a child or something. There could also be some clarity or a truth coming in. Maybe a soulmate is going to reach out to you here, and you're going to need to use your intuition when it comes to this, okay? For sure. It's also interesting because we have the Six of Cups plus an Ace, so that's 7, and then this is 7. So there could be some kind of spiritual lesson here that you're learning in regards to this. Somebody could definitely want to reach out to you. Maybe you're going to get an apology in October, or just a sweet gesture. Doesn't have to be an apology. You know, maybe somebody in regards to you has discovered an inner truth by October. Like, you know, they're like, I know what I feel now, or I know how I feel about something. I don't know, there's something here with that, okay? Okay, what is this? Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. What is this here for October for Gemini gang? We have 9 of Swords, and then we have the 4 of Pentacles. So, give me something for this preserve real quick, because this might pull this together for me. Give me something with this preserve. Yeah, it's like we're kind of discovering what's important to us here. And for some of you, maybe the grind isn't as important, but we still feel like we need to kind of grind. Also, for some of you, I'm just going to be honest, there could be something that's maybe slowed down business-wise. Again, you're still doing well, but there is that anxious energy here. I feel like what Spirit is saying is to not make any choices off of fear here with the 9 of Swords, to not make any choices off of anxious like energy, like feeling very like, you know, a lot of anxiety here. As somebody who struggles with anxiety a lot, I actually have a diagnosed anxiety personality disorder, or whatever the heck they called it. I know anxiety can kind of like make or break you, right? Like it can really ruin everything. Like I've had the anxiety destroy so many things in my life, because I just can't stop the anxious thoughts, and I get into this like fear spot in my like energy, where suddenly my worst fears are what I'm actually making my choices by, you know? So there's an energy here of not allowing that to happen, you know? Utilize logic, reason, common sense. Look at something in a very rational way, not this panicked, anxious way, because I feel like it's really easy to do that. Okay. Overall, I feel like you are feeling good in October here, because with the 10 of Cups, this talks about happiness. It talks about family. It talks about connection. It talks about, you know, having nice days out at the pumpkin patch or whatever people do in October. Okay. You're feeling very secure, because that's what the preserve is talking about. And it's talking about something that's going to last a very long time. So regardless of how things might look on the outside, or if you have like a bad week in October or something like that, it's like for the long run, you can expect things to go well. So don't let your thoughts get the best of you here in October, because it feels like there's a potential to do that. It's almost like Spirit wants you to, with the 3 of Pentacles, like see how you can fix something, see how you can make something better, instead of like letting your fear get to you. What is this set your sights higher for Gemini in October, please? What is this set your sights higher? Okay. We have 3 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you're not like playing it short anymore, playing it small, right? When it comes to anything, love, money, you know, your health, your own personal happiness, your mental health, right? It's like, I'm not going to let these things control me anymore. For some of you guys, if there is, by whatever reason, somebody that maybe from your past comes back, because we did see that with the inner truth, I feel like there's something maybe you're going to express to this person. You know, like I've done a lot of growing since we were last in contact, and I just feel like this is what I'm accepting, or this is what it is, or something like that. You know, like I'm not going to lower my standards. I'm going to expect more. I'm not going to settle. So if you're only here to give the bare minimum, then I feel like we should just keep this at rest. You know, it's like, you know, for some reason, Gemini, sometimes it's like we can grow, and so we can think that everybody else is growing too. You know, so if you don't talk to somebody for like a year or something, and all of a sudden they pop back in your life for whatever reason, you run into them in the grocery store or whatever, it's like we'll naturally assume, oh, I've done all this growth, I've done all this work, I've changed so much, surely they have too. But sometimes people are exactly where we left them, you know, and it's an unfortunate fact of life. So if there's something like that where it's like, this isn't going to satisfy me, and in fact this is going to bring me back to where I started, it's like it's not worth it to you because you've done so much work already. Okay, all right, so October is cute, right? All right, let's go ahead and get into November. All right, oh, I forgot a card. November, and I want to get a drink of water because I'm talking a lot during this reading. I'm putting in the work. That's yummy. Okay. So November, I'm like, please let it be good, because I don't think I remember anything from November either. Okay, it's looking okay. Okay, so November we have the sunrise. This card loves to come out with the tea leaves. I don't know, this is like turning into the channel sponsor of the tea leaves. It constantly comes out, okay? It says morning surprises, a redo, light after the dark, and new creative ideas, new ventures, and a fresh start. Okay, that's cute. We have renewal. Ooh, I'm sorry, but sunrise, new ventures, a fresh start, renewal, light after the dark, redo. Yeah, that's giving that kind of energy. Okay. For some reason, I'm hearing that song. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Right? I think that's how the song goes. Okay. We have autumn. Well, yeah, we are in the swing of things for autumn, so that makes a lot of sense. A pumpkin on there. That's so cute. It says bounty and balance. Okay. We have inner conflict resolution, card number 6. A shout out to my June Geminis. We have the queen, love and prosperity. And then we have empowerment. You are more powerful than you realize. It's safe for you to be powerful. Ooh, I'm liking November. I am a fan. Mark your calendars, okay? Because November feels really good. And actually it makes a lot of sense because in October we were seeing that energy of slowing down and maybe kind of like letting these intrusive thoughts hit us of like, oh man, you know, what's happening? Is everything kind of falling apart? And it's like, don't even let yourself go there is what Spirit's saying, right? Because things are going to be getting better here. So in November, it's like we're having a fresh start when it comes to something. There's definitely a renewal. Things are flowing here. There's like a bounty. So it's giving like a harvest type of energy for all the hard work that we've put in. Plus we see the queen with prosperity, okay? And most importantly, we're feeling more empowered. Like we've gotten over something that we were fighting ourselves in regards to here with the inner conflict resolution. Like we're no longer fighting ourselves. We're no longer thinking negative about something. We're really allowing ourselves to kind of break free and maybe even shed some old skins, some maybe old identities, old mindsets, old things that we were clinging on to that really don't even serve us anymore. Some of us are going to be going into this new energy with new creative ideas, new ventures, new opportunities on the horizon. These things are going to ask you to step in your power, to believe in yourself. That earthworm energy really shining through, maybe feeling like we're starting something new, we're stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit, and maybe we do feel like a novice or like we are, you know, we're brand new in here, but doing very well regardless, right? Like believing in yourself here. Okay, there's a big need to believe in yourself. So I feel like in November, yeah, we're feeling like a bountiful harvest type of energy. We're feeling like things are flowing and things are going very well. I also feel like we're outshining our peers here, because when you look at this card, it's like we see the other little mermaids here and they're kind of looking up at us. And so for some of you guys, you could really have a lot of people who are maybe looking at you. Of course, not everybody's going to be looking at you in a positive light, but people are looking up to you regardless. You could be setting a standard here for sure. You know, we have queen, so we have ruling type of energy. For some of you, if you're going into something new, like a new working environment, or you're starting a new project or something, people who have already been on the scene for a while are going to be shook, is the energy I'm getting. Like, okay, like just shook by your presence. They're going to be like, who is this? Where the heck did they come from? Where did they learn to do that? You know, it's like there's this energy here of you being like the new kid on block when it comes to something, but still having like that aged wisdom type of energy here. Okay, so I really like November. November feels like clean and to the point, guys, but let's clarify some stuff just for why not. Okay, so can I get something for this sunrise and this renewal type of energy? So we have the Knight of Wands that came out right off the bat, feeling very excited, and actually we have that with the Judgment, right? The Judgment can talk about a rebirth here. It's like there's an increase in our motivation, our energy. We're feeling that zest again, because in October we did slow down for a second. Like there was something where it's just like, okay, we're just slowing down, we're just taking it easy, or we're trying not to let our thoughts get the best of us in October. So it's like November, it's like we're putting more gas into the car here and we're going, you know, we're taking flight in November. And we're possibly even facing some fears here, you know, the Knight of Wands, he's our little rebel, right? He's going to go after his fears. He's going to look that dragon right in the eye and he's going to slay it, okay? So there's this energy here of maybe looking your fears in the eye, doing something anyways, even though it does feel scary, you know? So yeah, there's definitely something about your personal power that's like peaking in November, okay? And you're feeling really good about that. What is this inner conflict resolution talking about for Gemini gang in November, please? Inner conflict resolution, 6 of Wands coming out in reverse. Yeah, it's like no more excuses when it comes to our success. We are believing in ourselves is the energy that I'm getting here. Some of you guys, maybe you didn't believe in yourself, or maybe you didn't think that you had what it took for something. But with the 6 of Wands coming out, it's like we're ending that argument of, are we good enough? Can we achieve something? Are we meant for success? You know, it's like we are. And so we're overcoming that. For some of us, through our actions, because there's this energy of just doing it anyways, even though you feel a little afraid. It's like we're going to do it anyways, you know? And this is going to lead to prosperity, but it's also going to lead to some kind of recognition for sure. I'm feeling that. Can I get something for this queen real quick, please? For October, or no, November, excuse me. Yeah, we're balancing ourselves, we're moderating ourselves, we're definitely planning for the future. It's giving like an energy of like delayed gratification for whatever reason. Like we know that if we put in the work now, in the future, we're gonna see the payoff, we're gonna see the results. So we're allowing ourselves to do that. But we're having like a very healthy work-life balance here, because I do feel like maybe August, September, we burn ourselves out a little bit. So in October, we're kind of like, I just wanna rest, I just wanna take a break. And so when we move into November, it's like we're being smarter here. Okay, we're being smarter about our choices. We also have Sagittarius energy, which is November energy coming through. Okay, so yeah, I feel like we're allowing ourselves to work hard, we're allowing ourselves to play hard at the same time here, but we're really taking it feels like a leading role in whatever it is that we're trying to achieve for ourselves. Like we're planning for our future, we're strategizing for our future here. Interesting. I want to get something for this bounty for Gemini for November. This bounty here. Huh. That is so funny because we have the same cards that came out in the last pile. For like, what was it? I think it was set your sights higher. So that's so interesting. It's almost like what Spirit is saying is by setting your sights higher in the previous month, it's like you're actually achieving more and you're overcoming whatever that stress was. That's so interesting how that just happened. Because yeah, I do feel like there was some kind of fear mindset that you were locked into in October, which is possibly why you slowed down for a second, possibly why we saw that anxiousness with, you know, using reason and logic instead of like feeding into your fears, feeding into the negativity. In November, we're seeing something that's paying off because we decided to reel in our negative thoughts and not let them take control, you know? So very interesting energy, guys. Okay, I'm kind of very curious about what we have here for December, for the last month. So let's see, guys. I don't think I saw anything for December, so let's just see what we have. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. December seems a little heavy, I'm not gonna lie. So we have the casket energy. It says someone is going out of your life or the end of a situation, death or a final end and putting it to rest. We have manic. We have the butterfly, transformation, joy, beauty, and transcendence. We have you are more. Okay. We have the raven, darkness looms on the horizon. And then we have self-forgiveness, let go of old guilt and remember that you are God's perfect child. Okay, so Gemini, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like in December, there's this energy of maybe feeling like, because you know how like in December, sometimes we can look back at our life, or at least the year, right? And we can kind of be like, okay, well, I wish I would have done this differently. I wish I would have done that differently. I wish I would have been here. I wish I would have been there. I feel like there's something like that going on in December. Like you're evaluating your year and you're not really happy. Like, even though I feel like you've made a lot of progress and you've had a lot of achievements and success, you just for whatever reason don't feel like you're at where you want to be at. I also feel like you're finally letting something go here. I feel like for somebody out there, you have been struggling to let something, a group, a mindset, an addiction, a relationship, something, you've been like, it's been very hard. It's had its hooks in you is the energy that I'm getting, okay? And we're finally letting go of this in December. Like it's a final rest. Also for somebody, unfortunately, there could be a passing of somebody. I don't know. I don't like to predict these things, but with the casket, the raven, and the butterfly, it just kind of makes me feel like that because emotions could be kind of all over the place with the manic energy, you know? And anybody who suffered through an ending or a loss, you know, you're just like, yeah, it's like, I don't know how to even function. I'm just kind of showing up for life right now. So there could be that kind of feeling here. But I feel like with the you are more, Spirit is really saying that you're more than your current circumstances or you're more than whatever this is that is ending. Now, I really want to dig into this with tarot because I feel like it's going to give us more clarity. Okay, shout out to the people who clicked off as soon as we saw December. Like, I'm officially not showing up for December, right? Okay, so what is this casket? Someone is going out of your life or it's the end of a situation. What is this casket for December? Okay, so we have the Five of Swords and we have the Five of Wands, or excuse me, the Five of Cups. So something is definitely ending here. Maybe it's the energy here of, you know, feeling like we're fighting losing battles here. That's what the Five of Swords talks about for me. Five of Swords also talks about gossip. It talks about petty arguments and conflict. So if there's anybody that you kind of have this situation with now, where there's like a lot of arguing, there's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of feeling like, you know, very just not happy to be in this situation with this person, by December, there could be an ending to this. Okay, but there's definitely a lot of changes that are happening in December, and some of these you don't feel comfortable with, you know, for whatever reason here. There could be the end of a marriage here. I hate to say this. December feels a little dark. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, but I gotta give it like it is. Like, I gotta be real with y'all. I don't want December to come around and for it to suck and everybody be like, but you said I was gonna have $1 million. You know? But yeah, in December, I feel like we're trying to find our happiness too. Like, we're letting go of something that's really stressing us out. Like something is completely stressing you out and it's taking away from your overall happiness, you know? And I feel like you're letting go of that. Why are they feeling so manic in December here? Why are they feeling manic in December? Why are they feeling manic in December, please? We have Five of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. I feel like because you're having to show up for something regardless of what's going on in your personal life, okay? Maybe also something is taking too long to grow with the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, you know? I mean, because it's showing progress here, but it's also showing like we have to make it through like a bitter coldness here. So for some of you, that could just be it. Like it could be feeling like, you know, we're pushing through regardless of what's going on around us, regardless of what's going on in our life, and we're kind of trying to make the best out of the situation. Now we are seeing some kind of transformation that's taking place here in December that's bringing some kind of joy or beauty. It's like trying to find the positives because yeah, there could be something going on, guys, death energy. I feel very strongly that for some of you, something is ending and it's like this has needed to end, but we weren't sure what was going to happen on the other side of this if it did end. What Spirit is saying is that you're more than this. Don't limit yourself to whatever this is. You know, don't limit yourself. Now, for those of you that unfortunately lose a loved one, it's like going through the motions here in December. Okay? I hate predicting that kind of stuff, guys. I really don't like it, you know? But I just got to be real, you know, because with the casket, the death, the raven, it's like all the signs are kind of pointing to that. This could also be external influences that have nothing to do with us. This could be community. Maybe something's going to happen in the world or something in December, you know, that's out of our control. Things are ending. It's almost giving like 2020 vibes where life was never the same after that. It could be something like that going on where we're just being asked to kind of push through regardless, accept the cycles for what they are. Because with the You Are More, that card is pulling so much fucking weight in this reading right now. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this card is the only thing that's holding it together right now, because it's like the You Are More is making me feel, thank you, Spirit. Yes, the You Are More is making me feel like there's hope in this bitch. Okay, like, it's like, just because we see things like not great in maybe our neighborhood, maybe in our community, maybe we suffer something in the family that's not pleasant, you know, maybe we're dealing with a lot of gossip or pettiness in our workplace, or maybe we're feeling like something is growing very painstakingly slow. Whatever this is, it's like this right here, this star energy, it lets us know that help is on the way, right? Like, hope is on the way. There's going to be some kind of revival and renewal. So I really wouldn't be shocked to see, like, going into 2026 if we have a really positive first couple months, because we're letting go of something that's just holding us down here. What is this raven? The darkness looms on the horizon. I feel like I need to like do every single one. We have the 9 of Swords. So can I get something for what I'm thinking here, Spirit? Because I feel like, yes, that's what I was thinking, guys. Because I'm like, is this actually something that's real, or is this in your mind again? Gemini, there's a really big need here for the remainder of 2025 to not let your thoughts get the best of you, to not let things get a hold of you. Because yes, there's ups and downs in life. But sometimes it's about how we handle them. And also it's about understanding, recognizing that everything is temporary. Things don't last forever. Hard times don't last forever, right? Just like there's downs, there's always going to be ups. And I feel like very strongly here with this darkness looms on the horizon, you might feel like it is, but actually, because what I was thinking was like, is this all in Gemini's head, or is there not going to be darkness? And the 6 of Wands is what came out to clarify that for me. So I feel like actually, yes, you are going to see some success. It's, again, maybe doing an audit of the year and seeing how much you've actually grown, how much you've achieved. It's going to put things into perspective for you, because I feel like for some of you, there's some things that happen in December. Maybe it's the weather. Again, maybe there's something tragic that happens in your community, the world, your family, unfortunately. Maybe there's something that happens that makes you feel like there's no freaking way, bro. Like, there's no way, you know? Like, it's hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel. I hate to even say it, guys, but it's kind of reminding me of like when my mom passed away. Like the first year after that, like Jessica was not even here. Like, I showed up for these readings. I showed up for my family. I showed up for my job, but I was like an empty shell, like an empty vessel. You know? And so I was really in this 9 of Swords energy, but actually when I go back and look at it, it's like I was putting my everything into work. My channel was really growing. I was getting a lot of positive feedback. I was doing incredibly well at work. My family, like, I was making sure I was being more attentive to them. So there's almost this energy here of like not being so hard on yourself, because there are things that we can't control. And December is going to be a classic case of that. Like, you know, there's some things that happen that we can't control, but we're still doing good. It's giving me the energy of that song from Nathaniel Radcliffe. I love him. My mom introduced him to me, so you guys probably see me share his music a lot. Where there's a song and it's still all right. Listen to that song and it's still all right. That's what December is giving. Like, no matter what happens, it's still all right. You know? All right. All right, Gemini, you know, okay, self-forgiveness. What is this talking about? Let go of old guilt and remember that you are God's perfect child. So you can only know what you can know. You can only do what you can do, right? Yeah, for, what is this? What is this? What is this? Six of Cups. For some of you, there's something with a child, or there's possibly even something with a soulmate connection, something from your past that's like bothering you here, you know? Like maybe you're feeling like you just should have known better, or you should have done more, or something like that. What Spirit is saying is you can only do what you can do. You can only know what you can know, you know? Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Damn, I don't want to end the reading like that, bruh. I really don't. Let's pull just really quickly some additional messages for December, because I just don't want to end the reading like that, y'all. Like, that was just like womp womp womp. So we have release the old and rest and trust in the higher forces with Autumn and Shaman. One more for December, please. Oh, that's one, way too many. I thought it was one, but it was like three. One more for December, please. One more for December, please. One more for December, just additional messages. And then we have the Stag, trust and thrive. Well, there's a lot of messages here about trusting in December. You know, releasing the old and resting. You know, because something is ending, or something is not going to be the same, or something is changing. You know, it just is in December. It's something that feels out of our control. But Spirit is asking you to trust. There's trust on both of these cards here. Trust that you're going to thrive and that things are going to be okay. But also trust that Spirit is taking care of you. That things are not happening to you. They're happening for you. And sometimes that's really hard to actually believe, especially when we're going through it. But, you know, I feel like in December, you're going to have to pull on some kind of trust to the higher powers. You're going to have to trust that, you know, you didn't come this far just to get this far. And you're going to have to allow whatever is trying to leave or is trying to end, you're going to have to let it go and then rest and rejuvenate. Because, I mean, we'll find out in 5 months when I do the 2026 reading, but I have a feeling it's going to be a really good year just because of this trust and thrive. And again, you are more with this star. Pulling so much weight, y'all. Okay, anyways, I hope that didn't sour the reading, because overall I feel like it was a great reading, guys. I do hope that this helped. I hope it resonated. I hope it did something. Thanks for 29,000, Gemini, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.